Anyway, did you see then Cody? You know, Cody is the master of psychology. He's very subliminal. Cody, the babyface, comes out in a white suit, and Malachi Black is wearing a black suit. You got white suit, black suit. The only thing that Cody should have done here was got color, and then it would have been perfect. Let me see if I can relay this information to the fans. Cody comes out to the desk, puts on a headset because he's mad. He's screaming, pissing mad. He's cutting a promo on Tommy End or Malachi Black. Now they're using both names. But then he says, no, I'm not making my point. So he grabs a PA mic and he goes to the ring. And he calls out both guys, Tommy End and Malachi Black. Malachi Black shows up on the screen, of course, in front of what looked to be a brush fire. Was that what he was? The smoke, it was one of those Western U.S. brush fires that we're hearing about because there was smoke everywhere. I'm surprised he didn't have to be treated with oxygen. And he told a story about a guy shooting a prized stallion horse, which was kind of an updated version of Terry Funk's promo about his dad taking that stray dog out behind the barn. Kind of an updated version of that. Malachi Black was calm. Cody was going batshit. He was screaming. Suddenly, there was a blackout. And when the lights came on, you will never guess, but that meant that Malachi Black was in the ring. And they immediately, white suit and black suit, go to a pull apart. And everybody comes out and pulls them apart because this was one of the spots in the show where they were told to come out and pull people apart that were fighting. So they were there instantly, as opposed to other unscheduled fights where they're not told to come out and nobody ever even you don't see anybody. I have heard that this Tommy End was the guy that Paul Lee wanted to beat Brock Lesnar and make him the top babyface. Is that what you've heard?
I had not heard that, no.
Somebody said on the internet, Heyman was high on this guy, and it was, in Heyman's mind, it was between Tommy End and Drew McIntyre's who was going to beat Brock last year at WrestleMania. And Vince, of course, we know how it went because Vince jumped in on that one. I like that the guy looks like a fucking weirdo, and his kicks last week on Cody and Arn were fine, and apparently he's got a following, but the promo instilled no fear in anybody. He's got a normal voice, and I don't see this. That's where I was gobsmacked that Heyman would want to put this guy over Brock if that is indeed the case. We'll see what happens. This wasn't bad, but we'll see what happens. I don't know what they're already. He's been on TV twice, and they've confused his introduction with multiple names. And we know he's going after Cody, but I don't know what the fuck's going on here with this guy. And I've been told that, it's completely our fault because he released videos on social media explaining his name. Well, good. Then they should have gathered up some of them videos he released on social media and played them on their fucking television program. Your thoughts?
By and large, I thought it was a good segment. But like most things in AEW, even though there are moments that I think hit perfectly, then there's other stuff that I go, just why are you doing this? I actually saw some criticism of this from AEW fans. I told you, there's a whole contingent now that hate Cody, no matter what. And I've criticized Cody a lot for things that I thought were badly done or poorly thought out. I didn't think this was one of those examples. I thought Cody coming out there and getting on the mic at the desk was great.
Yeah.
It showed fire. This was something that would have worked in classic wrestling. And then he gets to the ring, and I'm still thinking, this is great. This is Cody doing something that actually has some feeling for the first time in a very long time. Of course, Cody comes back as soon as the fans are back, notice. And then he gets in the ring, and that video comes up, and I'm like, fuck, it's SmackDown. Now this guy is doing a skit.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a bad guy. It's a bad guy skit. It's not a comedy skit. But he's doing a skit with a smoke machine, just constantly the smoke going everywhere. And then again, the guy's been here for 2 weeks. Learn the first thing you do in AEW, become friends with the lighting guy, because then the lights go out again and he's in the ring. And that's where I thought things picked up again and it was great. I thought Cody at the desk and Cody fired up was great. I thought Cody and Malachi Smith, kind of like spy versus spy, white versus black. It looked good. Both guys were intense. Cody really upped the intensity. But I could do without, all of a sudden, Cody doesn't know there's going to be this video that was pre-recorded with smoke. Who recorded it and where? Why were they sitting on it? Why did they decide to play it now?
Yeah.
Why did the lights go out? If you can get around all the illogical, stupid shit, there was good stuff here. So by and large, it was good for AEW.
But now remember, the people that are writing and creating things in AEW have been watching WWE television or on it for the past 15 years. So they think this shit's normal too.
That's the thing. So many of these things that drive me nuts that ECW popularized, like the lights going out for no good reason.
Yeah.
That was done because they couldn't figure out a reason. It was just, let's just turn the lights out, turn it back on. It works once.
And also, as Paulie mentioned through Chris Candido to me, when they would have to have a surprise because they were short a surprise. So they'd just turn the lights out and put somebody in the ring and turn it back on. There's our surprise.
To me, it's lame. To me, it's lame and lazy, and I think it's unnecessary.
All right, well, in the further destruction of Tully Blanchard's Hall of Fame career, Officer Bar Brady catches Tully while he's coming in by himself. He's walking in without his guys, coming into the arena, wheeling his bag. They're on camera, and suddenly they just walk over to the elevator, and they're not hiding, just sitting there in plain sight, 2 grown adult men over 6 feet tall, graduates of major universities. Santana and Ortiz are there and just grab him. It's like, what the fuck? It was like they couldn't have been more obvious if they had neon signs on them. He's walking straight toward them, and suddenly when the camera widens out and there they are, oh my gosh. And they grab him, and T's hitting him with a crowbar, but they don't, and they let him go and walk off. And Tully says, I'm going to get my boys. Remember when Tully Blanchard was one of the biggest names in wrestling? And remember when he actually used to do shit instead of just wander around and be made to look like a fucking moron?
By the way, if I worked in AEW, in the world of kayfabe, if I worked in AEW,
yeah,
as soon as I saw Alex Marvez, I pull out a machete.
Oh, I'm fucking running.
Yeah, there's someone there ready to get me as soon as I see Marvez.
More on that later. Anyway,